What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got a new Seraphimon to talk about, and Seraphimon always makes me feel, frankly, guilty. Because in the very early days of the Digimon trading card game, I'm talking about the days where all we had were the first 3 starter decks, I thought Seraphimon was amazing. And bearing in mind, I'm new to Digimon, so I didn't know many of the Digimon themselves, but Seraphimon looked cool and the card looked cool, and I was convinced I was going to be a bit of a Seraphimon fanboy, and it never happened, and I still feel a little bit guilty. Turns out they introduced the colour green, and the colour green is way more fun to play, at least for me. But there is a new Seraphimon now. Maybe this one can change my mind. We are obviously in the EX-01 set, that's where the reveals are coming from at the moment, and I should give a shout out to DigimonCard.dev for the translation. Those dudes are awesome. Also translated proxies, and if you ever want to search for a particular type of Digimon, or if you want to, look for a red level 4 or whatever, that is the site to use. Their search function is brilliant. So Seraphimon then, like the Hercules Kabuterimon we talked about the other day, it has got a play cost of 12, a Digivolution cost of 4, and 12,000 power, which means everything is 1 more than we would expect. 1 more to play, 1 more to Digivolve, 1,000 power more. So let's hope the skills are good. Well, when you Digivolve, you recover 1, and that's brilliant. This is yellow. Yellow-like recovery. And this is decent recovery. Now, there are a bunch of cards that will recover, and of course, we've seen Seraphimon. The Seraphimon from BT1, weirdly enough, has the exact same Digivolution skill. When you Digivolve, you recover 1. Now, that is the same cost to play normally, 1 less to Digivolve, 2,000 less power. But if we put these Seraphimon side by side, we have literally got the exact same first skill on both of these Seraphimon. When you Digivolve into them, you get to recover a card, which is clearly a good thing. But is it worth playing it for that? Because it's not the only level 6 we can use to recover. Obviously, now we've got Magnadramon. Magnadramon doesn't really count, because Magnadramon recovers 2, which is great, if your security is 3 or less, which is less great when you play it normally, which honestly makes it a completely different card. This Seraphimon, you are playing to Digivolve up and have a traditional I've gone up into it level 6. Magnadramon just has a completely different role in the deck, so I wouldn't worry too much about comparing them. But Rhizalmon, when you Digivolve into it, you recover 2, which is clearly a phenomenal card. Although having said that, it's only got 10,000 power, and at the end of your opponent's turn, you got to trash the top card of your security, so you start giving that back, like, really quickly. So as fun as that card is, again, I don't think that is necessarily a fair comparison, because it starts to run out very, very quickly. The other one we've got is the Dynasmon that came around in BT6. When you Digivolve, you may trash the top card of your security to reveal the top 6 cards of your deck, and add up to 2 level 6 or lower Digimon to your hand. And then on all turns, once per turn, when a card is removed from your security, if you've then got 3 or fewer, you recover 1. So again, these are all very, very different. They're cool, and they've absolutely got their niches, but we're not playing them instead of Seraphimon. Weirdly enough, the only Digivolution recovery level 6 we've got at the moment is Seraphimon and Seraphimon. Oh, I should mention we do have the level 6 Digimon from BT5 that will recover 1 when it is deleted. Again, it's not the same kind of card. It's a very different way to play it, but, I'd mentioned all the other level 6s, it just seemed a little bit rude not to mention that one. So what is the other skill here, and is it going to make us choose it over the other Seraphimon? Well, what it essentially says is that on your opponent's turn, while this Digimon is suspended, all of your security Digimon get 5,000 power. Okay, this is my kind of skill. And I kind of love this, and I kind of don't. Because one of the other cards I got super excited about, and again, this is before BT1, this is back when we literally only saw the 3 starter decks, I really liked the yellow tamer. I really liked TK Takaishi. It gave all of your security Digimon an extra 2,000 power. I really liked the idea that your opponent's big Digimon would all get deleted when they attack the stack, because you would constantly have really good security Digimon. The problem is, as fun as that sounds and as good as that looked, that TK Takaishi's not seen a lot of play. Like, at all. So I don't know if it's one we really want to be getting particularly excited about. But then again, Seraphimon's not an extra 2,000, it's an extra 5,000. Now, if we put that into context, your average level 6 has 11,000 power. That's what we see from your average level 6. So we can start looking at yellow level 4s, for instance, and we can end up with stuff like Turiamon. So the 6,000 power 1 cost to Digivolve sees an awful lot of play. It's a very widely played card because it is a 1 cost to Digivolve level 4. That will delete your average level 6 in the security. So now I've got a level 4, and when my opponent attacks into the stack, they hit a level 4 and they get deleted. Clearly a huge advantage for me. But then again, we can actually keep going here, because there's nothing to say that this won't stack. And the rule is, if nothing says it won't stack, it will stack. So we only ever really need to look at 2. Let's say we've got 2. We've got 2 Seraphimon out. Well, now all of a sudden that level 4 Turiamon becomes a 16,000 power Digimon, and, you know, a level 7, something like an Omnimon attacking into the stack, will get deleted here, which is clearly ridiculous. But we don't even need to go there, because a lot of the time it's not going to be level 7s. A lot of the time we're just going to be talking about level 6s, so we're going to be looking at kind of 11,000 power, maybe 12 at the most. So if we go and take a look at level 3 yellow Digimon, we can start looking at things like the Salamon from the starter deck, and now all of a sudden my opponent is attacking the stack with an 11,000 power level 6. They hit a Salamon and they get deleted. And I really don't think this is the same as TK Takaishi. This is, you will get deleted when you attack the stack. Now, that's still not perfect. We've all seen that Rookie Rush is one of the best decks and has been since the early days of the game. That essentially means that they're attacking with lots of little level 3 Digimon rookies, so to speak. And they are expecting them to get deleted when they attack, so they don't really care. They are giving up those Digimon, and you increasing your stack really doesn't mean very much, because they are just going to get deleted. Doesn't matter how big the Digimon are in your stack, they are going to delete your opponent, because your opponent is using little Digimon, and if your opponent ever survives, it's a bonus, so they don't care, is my point. It's not the same. But there will be plenty of times, you know, well, one of the things that's quite popular nowadays is what we call a one-turn win, where your opponent is looking to get, you know, security attack +3 or something like that, and then swing for big damage. Well, great news, ladies and gentlemen. They're going down here. Now, obviously, your opponent can survive if they've got jamming, and that's a little bit sad, but jamming is not a skill we see around all of that much. And against Rookie Rush, this clearly isn't going to work. But against decks which are looking to swing with 1 or 2 big Digimon, they are losing them the second they start swinging. And that's a good thing. For you, not for your opponent. It's a very bad thing for your opponents. And I really do think this could end up being an awful lot of fun. Plus, you've got that recovery. So to go back to our question from earlier, what happens if we put these 2 Seraphimon side by side? Well, clearly the one from BT1 is cheaper to Digivolve, but this one's more powerful. But if you've got 3 or more security, the BT1 Seraphimon gets security attack +1. This kind of turns all of your security Digimon into beasts, but it lasts the entire game rather than going away when you go down to 2 or fewer security. I do like this one a lot more. But the fact of the matter is, we've got a lot of options for recovery, and I can't tell you whether this is one of the best ones. I think there is absolutely some potential here, but this is really a metagame call. In a metagame where your opponent is trying to build up one big Digimon and attack for multiple security cards at once, being able to take them down with the first security card is clearly brilliant. Against Rookie Rush, where your opponent is throwing little Digimon at your stack and expecting to lose them, this is clearly not brilliant. So I leave it up to you to decide the meta. There is definitely a use for this. I'm giving it between 3 and 4 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies. That would be barbaric. There are times this is going to be awesome. There are times it's just going to be a recovery card. And that's the thing to remember, right? It's always a recovery card. If nothing else, you are recovering here. So it's not the end of the world. But there are going to be games where this is way better than others. But now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about all of this. Did I say we don't give half Wassies? That'd be barbaric? We definitely don't. It would be barbaric. So let me know what you think about these in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassie. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wassie Plays.